Okay, we need to talk about how media literacy is taught in schools because it is not taught well enough at all. I think that's something we can all agree with. People tend to take media very face value. They don't look for any deeper meaning. And I think part of that comes from the fact that we're teaching Shakespeare as the main core for media analysis. It isn't. It's not an applicable tool. Yes, it has some benefits, some tools, great. But what most people encounter on their day-to-day lives is modern media and news media. So people need to learn how to dissect news media, and they need to learn how to dissect and comprehend modern media. Yeah, it's great. Throw in Shakespeare once they're in 12th grade, and you look at one Shakespeare play, right? Totally get it. It practices the skills in a different way. But doing Shakespeare every year instead of looking at modern books, modern media, modern TV, modern movies is not doing anyone any favors because they're not taught how to dissect these things and how to look at the writing and intent behind them because they're taught how to do it with Shakespeare. And for the most part, they don't care about Shakespeare. Most teenagers don't like Shakespeare. And frankly, who can blame them? You're given Shakespeare as a book rather than as a play. You're meant to watch it, not read it. You would never read a movie script and be like, No, because you're supposed to watch it. You're never supposed to read the movie script. You're supposed to watch it. You're not supposed to read Shakespeare. You're supposed to watch it. Unless you're reading his poems, obviously. But you're taking something that was one medium, transferring it to a different medium, and then trying to dissect it that way. In language, kids don't care for. They call it stupid. They're like, when am I ever going to use this? And frankly, that's one of the times where you probably aren't. But what you would be able to use and what you would need to use is the ability to dissect TV. For example, WandaVision. People have terrible takes on that show because they lack basic media literacy to recognize that the entire show is a metaphor for dealing with grief and trauma. It's not meant to be taken literally, to an extent. It's meant to showcase and go through the steps of the grieving process. It's a metaphor. And we don't, in any language classes, in any language arts classes, we don't look at TV. We don't break down TV shows. We don't break down movies. We don't look at modern movies that are massively widely consumed and teach people how to break them down, how to recognize tropes, how to recognize messaging in them. Instead, we're taught how to recognize tropes and messaging in Shakespeare, which is so far removed from people's lives that they see basically zero connection.